Hi, I'm Mike Smith, and I'm doing my ethnography for Dr. Grant's class on the Residence Hall Association meetings at Robert Morris. So a little background on why I joined the group. In high school, to be on the event planning committee for any particular event, you had to be in the in crowd. I was not, and so I couldn't really help plan for prom, spirit week, graduation week, any of those things. Since I got to college, I've done it a little bit more. It's less of a popularity contest, but there's still that factor. At the start of the semester, my friend approached me about joining RHA, and I said to him, well, wouldn't I just be a walking suggestion box where people in the dorm come up to me when a washer's broke or their toilet's acting up? And he said, well, there is a little bit of that. So obviously, you're like an RA and you get in contact with maintenance or res life if something's wrong in your hall. But in addition to that, we plan and budget almost every single event on campus that is not associated with another organization. So obviously, that appealed to me, having been blackballed from such things in the past. And so I decided to go to the first weekly meeting. The meeting that I'll be having in my ethnography was a couple weeks back, Thursday, October 3rd. So every Thursday we meet at 9:15 in the Salem apartment building's downstairs meeting room. The meeting room's about 20 by 20, and it's structured like your conventional classroom. You have 5 rows of about 7 to 8 seats in each, a podium, whiteboards, a smartboard. It's pretty much just the average classroom, but it's in the Salem Hall, and it's designed for on-campus organizations to come in and meet. So this particular week, among other things, we were going to plan for the Halloween party on campus. It's an event that RHA has been planning that every single student on campus is invited to, and this will be the 3rd year that we've done it. So the meeting itself is a weekly meeting at 9:15 in this room, and this week started with, as usual, the president calling the meeting to order. So Ashley, the president, said, quiet, quiet, I would like this meeting to commence. And after the people in the back finished their private conversations, we were underway. So Ashley told us that, among other things, we would be voting on the Halloween party tonight. We all knew that, but every week she starts off in a formal manner presenting the agenda for the week. After that, Brady, the vice president, who was in charge of giving us the Student Government Association's weekly updates, told us that since they meet bi-weekly, he didn't really have anything new. But this week we were going to be electing an SGA committee of people who would go to and effectively record our own minutes for the Student Government Association meetings. I was one of the first to volunteer. My friends seconded my volunteer, and we took a vote, all in favor of my election to that committee, and it was unanimous that I was going to be an SGA rep. We elected 2 more after that, and we had our SGA committee set for the semester. Next, we moved to Angela, the treasurer, who told us that we have about $4,000 to work with this semester after some of our earlier events, and she is also the RHA representative to the dining committee. The dining committee is a student organization that effectively takes student feedback into consideration when preparing meals for the various food establishments on campus. She gave us a weekly update on the Yorktown Cafe, which is coming. It is effectively a combination of Burgatory, an exotic restaurant, and next year, if the license is acquired, a beer and wine bar. It's on delay for another month, much to the chagrin of everyone on campus, but hopefully it'll be there soon. And she told us to tell our friends that things are cruising along and give us some menu items, and overall, it was good news, minus the fact that it won't be around for an extra month. After that, Zach, the secretary, and Stephanie, the historian, said that they have nothing new to present. After we go through our officer reports weekly, from the committee of 5 of them that sit in the front of the room, Ashley, the president, at the podium, and the other 4 at a table facing us, we go on to the dorm reports. Ashley, the president, reads off a list of all the dorms, and one by one, the elected representatives for their halls, I'm actually the elected Salem Hall representative, give a weekly report of their dorm, the conditions, if anything's broken, if there are any interesting events going on. So we went through the list. For the most part, the people who were present said there was nothing going on. I made a joke about the fact that a Hot Pocket almost burned down Salem earlier in the week and got a little bit of laughter, and then we moved through a couple more, and the dorm condition reports were finished. Then we got to the part that we love the most, the pure democracy that is the planning and funding of RHA events. This week, the only thing on the docket was the Halloween party upcoming. So we had a list of events that Ashley wrote on the board based on suggestions from anyone in the room. They didn't have to be representatives. And we narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 events. I suggested a group costume party contest, and other people suggested movie viewings, haunted house within the Holiday Inn, and trick-or-treats, other similar events. Once we had a plan for the evening narrowed down, I suggested that we have a $1,000 budget for the event. With $4,000 left for the semester and no rollover, I figured it was a reasonable amount. After a little bit of debate, should we do less, should we do more, we solidified the $1,000 number, and we now have a plan for a Halloween party for every single person on campus to participate in Halloween night at the Old Holiday Inn, Yorktown Hall. With that, the business has been concluded. Ashley asked for a motion to close the meeting, and with someone who seconded that, we were on our way for the week. So the weekly organization effectively falls to 3 things. The executives give their reports, the hall representatives give their dorm reports, and then we have an open forum for proposing events and budgeting them. So on an analytical standpoint, I think the best part of RHA is that it exemplifies Hartman's 3 points of exit, loyalty, and voice within an organization. The most well represented, obviously, is voice. We have a board of executives who are voted the year before. We have hall representatives. We have committee representatives such as SGA and the dining committee. And then everyone else in the room is a voting member. There's no one who does not participate in a meeting. Every single person at least gets to speak up if they have thoughts, objections, anything along the lines, or just vote on the weekly proposed activities. In a pure democratic fashion, we have a vote on every single thing that is proposed. All in favor, all opposed, and any abstentions. So with that, it's a pure democracy. If one person is completely and utterly opposed, they can continue to delay in a almost filibuster-esque fashion until everyone in the room reaches a unanimous decision on each passing event. So with that, obviously voice is well represented. In addition, loyalty is something that is encouraged within the organization from both ends. No one's kicked out of the group unless it's severe disciplinary action, and unless you skip several meetings in a row, you will not be removed from your office. It's very laid back. As long as you're willing to participate and come and help us accomplish things, then you're welcome to stay, and that makes people loyal. Obviously, as opposed to the corporate world, there's no risk of being fired. There's just, if you want to be here, you're invited to be here. Finally, there's an option to exit, if necessary, from the organization. Since it's a college club, if you leave, there will be no consequences to your resume, to your record, and in addition, there are dozens of other clubs on campus that you could participate in. So Hartman's points of exit, loyalty, and voice are all extremely well represented within the organization, and I think that makes it a very ethically sound organization that I am proud to be a part of. All right, thank you very much for a great semester.